Welcome back to the channel and a new vlog style video. So we'll pick up from where we ended the last vlog style video, and we're in the process of emptying the tank, ready to scrub it out, clean it and reset it. I'll just flip the camera, show you where we're up to, and then we'll pick up from there. My bucket's a bit dirty because I've actually give the filter a bit of a wash. I did find a couple of babies and one shrimp hiding behind the filter, and I'm hoping that this sort of settles a little bit before I finish draining it, empty the soil. There's a snail at the back, and we'll be pleased to know that it'll be coming out. And there are a few little spots of blackbeard algae in here, sort of building up on the side, so we'll need to get those scraped out so you can see the build up here. But let's crack on, and we'll pick up when we've finished. What I like to do when I reset a tank is remove it from where it lives, place it on my workbench on my worktop, move a light over the top of it, let the dust settle and the muck settle, and then watch it for a good 30-40 minutes for babies, and remove any babies into a jug and do what I need to do with those. And with dark coloured shrimp, you're looking for movement, so you sit and watch the water for a while and you see something move, and then you just track it and catch it. Putting that tank reset aside, and I have managed to paint the back, as you can see by my fingers. I'm going to do some water changes on the neos, and I'm going to slightly increase the hardness in here, mainly because of the snails and the guppies. Really, I've got some calcium in there in the form of coral bone, but mixed water's ready and we'll get that cracked on and done. So that's them emptied and being filled up. So I did a 20% on the left one and a 10% on the right one, and the one I always forget about is the green jades. But because I've forgot them for a while, I've actually done quite a big water change on these, and I'll drip it back in slow anyway. And there we have a cleaned out tank with a painted back. So the paint job on the back I did with the roller, and I probably could have done with another coat, but it's better with the paintbrush. You get a better thick covering, but it colours the back. So next thing is, I was tempted to use this for Neo Caridina, and where the Neos are at the moment, move them down. But what I should have done if I was going to do that was actually change other things as well. So I'm going to do it as a Caridina tank, and I'm using environment soil just because there's enough left in the bag. So let's get that added and we'll start cycling this tank. So thin layer on, and you all know what time it is next. Tai Cheng dead shrimp powder. So I've not put as much as I normally put in because I've already got a cycled filter in there. So that filter's cycled. There was a double sponge or a single sponge that I had in here as well, which is currently in the other tank, just because it had babies in the grooves. But let's get this filled up and we're away. And these are the mix, or some of the mix that we moved, so which will soon be added to with quite a few, because I do have some plans to really sort of go through my other tanks and take quite a bit out that I'm not happy with. Morning, it's bright and early on Saturday the 13th of July, and I've come in the shrimp room. Got up bright and early because I've got to get up really early to go into hospital for a procedure tomorrow. So I thought I'd get up nice and early as a way of practicing. And you'd have probably seen the frogs video by now, but I had to separate them yesterday. There was a lot of aggression. Spoke to the person I had them off, said there wasn't any aggression that he sort of spotted or noticed, but it's a weird one because it's the female that seems to be dominating the male. There's no bullying going on in my house, so I did separate them. I'll flip the camera and show you what I've done. So this is the male in there. When I spotted them a couple of times actually, so this cork bark was in the corner and the male was sort of trying to hide under the cork bark, and the female was sort of pressing into the ground. So I moved the cork bark from out of the corner, and then this plant here, when I came back in, the male was sort of trying to get in behind the plant. Apologies for the reflection. The male was trying to get in behind the plant, and the female again was pressing him. So I've taken the female out, and it was already vented because it was an isopod tub. I did have it as an isopod tub, so I know you can't see very well through here, but let me see if I can find me. So there's the female. I'll give her a spray down. I might keep her in here for a couple of days just to sort of try and break that behaviour, and it may be temporary. It may have been the fact that they move stressed and sort of trying to show dominance, but we'll have to see. Sunday the 14th, I'm just waiting for a lift. I'm at Derby Hospital, and I've had the procedure on my back. That hurt. So what they've done is they've done nerve root injections into my back on L5, left and right, and I get most of my pain down the right. That one was easy. The left one hurt, and I mean hurt. I was lying on the bed shaking like a leaf, proper like shaking like I was freezing cold. So not probably going to do much today. Probably going to get home, have a kip, might do a little bit in the room later, see how I feel, but speak to you all tomorrow or further on in the week. Quick update on the frogs then. So I left them separated for a couple of days, and there she is, there he is, she, yeah, that's him. I left them separated for a couple of days, so there's one just down the back there, you can see it moving in the background, and reintroduced them, and I think it was perfect. It had given the one that was being bullied just enough time to work out that it can actually get behind this bromeliad in the corner, and the female, what I believe to be the female, can't access there. I have seen them press just once. I separated them, and I haven't seen them do it since. So fingers crossed, everything's worked out okay. I can just see it hiding up the corner there. I don't know if you guys can make that bit of yellow out in the corner, just there. So they definitely know how to hide. Finally, my pure white line have actually had babies. It's took an absolute age for these to get breeding. So the plan to add the few more new ones in that you'll have seen in the vlog has paid off. It's definitely triggered something. So there aren't stacks of them. I have put some baby food in, but I've got babies, and that's good enough for me. Morning. You joined me on Monday the 21st of July, and as you can probably tell from my throat, I've got a bit of a cold. Not been great. I haven't done much filming this week, and I'm currently in the process of trying to catch as many of these mixed tigers as I can and move them down onto the bottom rack. So let's crack on with that and get that done. And there we have it, ladies and gents. So SL Aqua Soil, painted the back black on this one, and the reason I've gone with SL is because I want to do something with my Galaxies which are currently on SL. Select or create a second grade. I've taken the matting out just to get a bit more room in the tank, use a few more litres, and gone with a brand new double sponge on the left hand side. Tai Cheng powder again. Let's let the cycle commence, and then we'll start doing some work. I have fed today, but I've fed some snowflake just because it doesn't go off in the water, and it gives the babies an opportunity to get feed by the way it breaks up. And by the time you guys get to see this video, the video on this build will already be out. So this is less than a week old, and stuff sort of growing in really well. Probably not so much the Braziliensis, but everything else is doing well. Still got a little bit of ammonia in here, but I'm getting some bubbling at the top, which suggests that there's other compounds in there. And once this is done, we'll get the shrimp in, So yeah, as I say, you'll have seen by now the shrimp blue jellies that I've literally just got hanging on the side of the fire reds at the moment. Morning everyone. So it's currently Monday the 29th of July 2024, just after midday I think, and I'm catching this colony of tangerine tigers. There's still a few babies and stuff left at the back. I need to bring the rocks out and stuff, but I've got them in this breeder box that I had from Shrimp Factory. So it's like a hang on, it's more of a selection box, and I'll be there until they sort of get bagged up. I can sort of lift it up and push it back down and sort of just refill the water, but it's probably a bit small for the amount of shrimp I've got in there. I do have a few sort of babies left, mainly at the back on the filter. I found over 50, so I'd said 30, 35 plus, but I think there's 51 in there, and I'm not taking the tiny babies. I'm going to put them in my mixed tiger tank. Well, if they're big enough to go through the holes in the side of here, then they won't be going in that box. But that's what I'm doing for today. And then what that means is once that's done and they're gone, I can start stripping this tank down, moving it down, you know, resetting it, so I can start selecting for that tank as well. So that tank and this tank are specifically sort of earmarked for selecting a couple of really nice shrimp. And once I've got those really nice shrimp in there, hopefully I'll breed and we can sort of start to build a really nice colony of those shrimp. Tuesday the 30th of July, and I've got one of the tank's pads on the worktop, which can only mean one thing: we've moved the tangerine tigers out, and we're in the process of scrubbing that tank out. So someone I know, Pete, had the colony of tangerine tigers. There was a few little babies left, but they've just gone down into the mixed tiger tank. And operation high grade fancy tiger commences then. So tank back in place, float valve reset. I'm going to put some SL aqua soil in and get this cycling. But one thing I do need to do is take off the $3.99 price tag that was on there for the tangerine tigers, because what's going in here won't be $3.99. Just in the process of filling this up now. So the back's being painted. I've reused the sponge but washed out the double sponge, but washed out the sponges not in tap water, so they're still active. I've used yet again the Shrimp's Affair setup powder, otherwise known as Tai Cheng dead shrimp powder, and we'll just get this one done, put a label on it, and we're finished with that one. So that brings us to the end of yet another vlog style video. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and as always, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Over 50% of the people that watch this channel don't subscribe, and we grow with the subscription. That's how it works with YouTube. And like the video, share it if you want to, leave a comment, because we answer all the comments. Take care everybody, bye bye.